Welcome to Pretty Little Liars, the after show here on the Stream.TV Fan Show Network. I mean, it's not the Fan Show Network anymore, right?
It's fine. It is. You guys are fans. We're fans. It's the Fan Show.
Sorry, it's really hard to break old habits, okay? But you seriously, guys, welcome back. Tuesday, we have 3 more episodes left of Pretty Little Liars.
Wait, are you sure?
I'm positive.
Yeah, after
so
tonight, it's only 3 more.
4,
Yeah.
and we literally have 3 more.
We have 3 more.
You guys,
3
I can't.
more episodes.
Like, I'm getting a little sentimental. I'm not gonna lie. I think like when the last episode happens, like I think I'm gonna cry.
Are we all gonna cry?
Well, they released that promo, you know, like a couple weeks ago, and like I watched it, and I wasn't like feeling it as much. But then somebody posted it again just a couple of days ago, and it was a fan, and she was like saying, "I cannot believe this is actually coming to an end." And I just happened to watch the promo again, and I was like, holy shit, like this is really ending. We have 3 weeks left, and I don't even know how to like wrap my head around the fact, like.
And I think it's like really sentimental. Oh, I didn't mean it.
No, you're fine.
It's really sentimental for us too because it's like what started us.
Yeah, we all got our start.
And we've had such a
this.
crazy ride, you know, with this show. And it's like our dreams came true. Yeah. Oh my God, okay, stop it.
It's so crazy because it's 3 episodes left, and I felt like there have been so many times throughout this show where I was like begging for answers and like begging just to like get some sort of clarification. And now like when we start finding out things, I'm like, no, stop it! Like slow your roll because they keep clearing people. So then when they start clearing people and like bringing back these major suspects and then clearing their names, it freaks me out a little bit because I'm like, all right, well, that person's out of the picture, that person's out of the picture, so we're that much closer to finding who's behind all of this.
Exactly.
But let's get into tonight. I didn't even introduce ourselves. My name is Sinead. I got Mova over here. Her name's Ashley, but we call her Mova. Megan and Stuff.
Yo, gang.
All right, so I'm a little under the weather. I have the plague. So I am going to talk not that much because I have been having coughing attacks.
I know realize I held your hand and then I went like this. Okay, you guys, if I'm sick next week,
that's okay. Stephanie and I shared the plague. She had the plague, and then I got the plague. I always touch her over here. I'm always going like,
Did I hold your hand?
Yeah, to look at my beautiful ring.
Oh my God, I did. You're right.
No, I will survive this. My immune system.
To look at my beautiful ring.
Those are your muscles.
I can't help it. It's so big.
It's all about the wellness formula that you told me about.
Girl,
guys, if you're ever sick, you have to take wellness formula. Get it at Whole Foods.
Maybe
it's so great.
Maybe
yeah,
it's
it is the best
blood
thing.
Type.
Oh my God! If your blood type is B positive.
All right, anyways, let's get into this because we could talk about this forever. All right, so let's start out with Detective Marco. So last week, Detective Marco and Spencer kind of ended all possibility of these two working anything out. Like they are 100% done, and they are on opposite ends. So Marco accuses Haleb and Hanna, who are actually guilty.
Yeah.
Of being the reason why all those files and paperwork and everything was flooded when they were looking for the check, right? So, so far, no one's found the check, right? Marco, that's his missing link.
Right.
Well, now it's flooded and soggy and paper mache, so
really, before we get into Marco and Haleb and Marco and Spencer and all that stuff, do you guys think that check is going to resurface? Or do you think it's done?
No, I think the shovels that Mona has, those are the shovels that they buried Dr. Rollins with. That will surface.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that the shovels have a bigger chance of showing up than the check does.
I do have to say with Detective Marco, though, versus any other detectives that we had in the show, he is actually on it. And is actually circling back to the right people versus all the other detectives were kind of like they didn't really know what they were doing. I mean, we love Detective Bad Perm, but P.S. like I miss her.
I miss her.
Where is she at?
I don't know, but I mean, so Marco will figure it out, but no, I don't think the check will resurface.
I have a question too,
or
actually.
the receipt, or whatever it was.
Do you guys think that Detective Marco was more upset about them trying to mess with evidence, or jealous that she was with Haleb?
I think there has to be a little bit of both.
Yeah.
But I feel like after last week's episode, we're supposed to 100% believe that
he's trying to figure it out.
Marco is doing his job, and he is going to do his job if it kills him. Like
team police.
Yes, he
is.
He is on it. He is police officer of the year, detective of the year. He wants to get this done. So after he talks to Haleb, he, you said, accuses Spencer and confronts her about Haleb, and that leads Spencer to get into the car with Mary Drake.
I just love, I love the way Spencer tore Marco a new asshole, and she was like, listen, Marco, if you want to F with me, take him to the police station.
Yeah, and I'll tell them.
And I will show you who's boss,
Yeah.
right?
Honestly, Spencer, the more, she's always been badass, but like the more Spencer is just going through these episodes, I'm like, you are so smart, Spencer.
She is so smart.
She's
really
so
is.
smart. I can't.
And like, even last week when she first confronted him about that and was like,
isn't it going to be weird that the fact that I'm at your house?
The fact
like,
that like, I didn't even think about it like at all. I didn't even think about that possibility.
Right.
But I just love that twist, and I love that she's playing that up so much because
Yeah.
every single time Marco is going to get closer to this, Spencer is going to threaten him.
It's genius. She's so smart.
So either he's going to eventually give in and take it for what it is and confess to it so that he can bring her in, or he's never going to be able to really do anything about it because she has that over him.
I feel like it's going to be the latter, honestly, because when he got in that car, he kind of looked like a dog with his tail, whatever that saying is.
Between
with
the
tail
legs.
between the
And
legs.
I totally agree with you, and I think we'll get to this point eventually, but if Marco finds those shovels, and this brings up a whole other can of worms, which we're going to talk about, but like, does that mean is Mona protecting the girls, or is Mona against the girls?
Yeah. All right, we'll talk about all of that. No, it's amazing. I love it. Another good twist, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so Spencer and Mary Drake. So
that was I'm so
psycho.
glad Mary is back.
Yeah.
You guys, we got a lot this episode.
We did.
Thank you, PLL, for finally giving us answers. I really feel like this
did.
episode was real good.
Run it down.
Okay, so Mary, like, I don't know.
But what I will say, yes, we got so many answers this episode.
Okay, so Mary.
That's as far as it goes.
Like,
That's it.
where do we take it?
As much as I did like all the answers that we got tonight, the way Mary shoved her hand over Spencer's mouth and was like, drive. Like, girl, if you're all that innocent, why are you acting like that? Like,
Because we know now that Mary and Jessica both actually had serious problems.
Clearly.
Right. That's where I meant to go with it, you guys.
They both.
We got you, girl. We got you.
Thank you.
They both actually had serious problems, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Problems that they both should have been hospitalized for.
Right.
But Jessica
was like,
being the one who did it.
Yeah, she is not only a little cuckoo in the head, she's also really evil because that's her sister.
Right. But that was my
be.
question. Like, did something, and are we just forgetting, but did something specific happen that she was like, now you have to go to the mental institution? Like the drowning of the baby, remember, in the hot water? And that's why.
Oh, wait. She boned her husband?
So was that why she did it, and it was really malicious,
no.
or
I
did
don't
she
know
do
if
something
that was
insane?
I feel like
that she had to hospitalize
Did that
her
not
for?
happen? Did that happen before?
Oh
Yeah,
my
I
God,
don't know the time
it
events.
did happen before.
Wait, no, because Mary went. We found out a few episodes ago that Mary was admitted to Radley when she was 18.
But we don't know exactly what she did.
But also, it had to have happened before because she had Spencer when she was in Radley.
Yeah, that timing.
So they had to have had sex before. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I don't think she was 18 either, so that's
I swear I remember that.
Yeah.
Also-
they might have said that, but they need to go back on that.
Yeah.
They didn't edit that out.
Yeah, I need to look that up because I feel like we're missing something. But anyway, also, I don't like or understand Spencer's like kinship related or whatever to Mary Drake. Like I
It's her
don't
mother.
understand.
What's
I
not to
know,
understand?
but, like,
You
I know,
guys
but
know.
she hasn't been in her life this whole time.
That
and her
doesn't
mom
matter.
is a murderer,
think
and
it was-
Spencer's more mad at her dad for cheating on her mom than her mother for murdering her aunt. Like that is weird.
I think a couple things happened this episode. I think it was very telling that Spencer didn't end up going with Mary at the end. Because I think if she did, then I totally agree with you. It's weird.
But they were like having a love moment.
Because it's like, that's
It's her mom.
You know, and
It's
she's
her
like,
mom. It doesn't. It
People
doesn't
don't like their moms if their moms are really,
But
really bad people and worked around their whole life.
Sure, right?
Yes.
But this woman hasn't been around Spencer her whole life. So I think that's the difference because like there are people that have serious issues with their parents. Their parents abuse them, their parents do horrible things, but they're around their parents their whole life. So they are brought up and develop a bond with their parents knowing that their parents are evil. Spencer just discovered this woman and also discovered that she's her mom. So she's seen, yes, Mary do some pretty effed up stuff in the past couple weeks,
Yeah.
but she also hasn't known this woman for the past, how old are they now, 23, 24?
I just feel like if she did just meet her, then she should be like, oh, you did a bunch of bad things. I'm gonna stay away from you.
I just feel like for her, it's more of the fascination too.
Maybe that's it then.
Of
It's
like
probably the
getting,
shock,
the shock of it, the
But I think-
fascination, being like, this is my mom.
Right.
And also what flipped everything around was when she literally heard Mary and her dad's voice
Right.
over the intercom at the Hastings household.
Right.
And I think that was her deciding factor of like, okay, listen, there's way too much going on right now and way too much I need to figure out and way too many reasons why I can't trust this bitch.
True.
But she's also mad at her dad, and like,
Yeah.
I get that
Rightfully
he
so.
cheated, but like, sounds
it was
so
kinda
wrong.
like
But
an
a lot of people
accidental
cheat.
But it was like an accidental cheat. He didn't. Oh well.
Well, he was
Well,
still
he was
intending to
still
cheat.
cheating, but-
He was intending to cheat. He just happened to cheat
Well, I mean, I
with
guess
the
that
wrong
he's
woman.
cheated a couple of times,
Right,
right? He
yeah.
cheated okay, so then there's no excuse for that. But this time, he didn't know necessarily that he was cheating, right?
No, he did.
He did.
Because he still thought it was Jessica, who's not his
he
wife.
was-
Oh.
So,
Duh.
But like,
Okay.
I know.
For a second, though, I was
know.
like, "You're right," because he didn't know it was Mary. But I was like, "But wait, he was still planning on hooking up with Jessica."
I guess I'm just like, with stop hating on Mr.
On
Hastings.
Daddy.
I'm like, stop hating on
You know,
Daddy.
it's hard to hate on Daddy, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like it's so easy. I think as a daughter to
Be mad at your own dad.
Be mad at your own dad because, like, you know how they say like girls are always closer to their dads and boys are
Right.
always closer to their moms.
Oh,
like,
I didn't know that.
yeah,
Daddy's
like
girl,
daddy's
say
girl
that.
and mommy's
Boy.
boys. That's where that saying comes from.
I thought like girls aren't close to their moms because the
No.
girls
It can
and
go
dads
both
and the
ways.
boys.
It
Yeah.
can go
Both
both
ways.
ways, but like
Anyway.
if I think of like from personal experience,
Yes,
right? Like
yes.
when I was growing up,
Yeah.
like I'm really close to both of my parents,
Right.
but like I was so close to my dad, so close, and I just feel like if my dad were to have done something like that, I would be almost more offended that it was my dad versus my mom for some reason, and I don't want to. It's not about double standards at all. It's just like
Right.
when you're a girl, it's like your dad is like it's your dad, like
Right.
it's the man of the house, you know.
I think I'd be all around
P.S.
offended.
Me too. Totally me too. But I see why she's so upset because she's a woman,
Right.
so she's taking that personally because her mom is also a woman. So it's
Right.
like it's like I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
But
Like
P.S.
she's
Mrs.
getting more
Hastings,
offended.
I swear, I'm sorry. I know this is like the last thing I want to say about it, but when is enough with her? Because she's now still with
Clearly
the guy
not. I
who
agree.
cheated on
who's
her
enough
over
with
and
her?
over.
Sorry,
Mrs.
what?
Hastings.
Because she's
is
not-
still
she's
with
giving up her
Mr.
job.
Hastings.
Right.
And now she's giving up her senator.
I honestly don't even see their
called.
love. Like I never see
Yeah.
the love between them, and I think that she's just so career driven that her
I
mind
think it's
isn't
for
even
politics.
Yeah.
But wouldn't it be amazing
like,
if
leave
her
him.
because
Yeah.
Spencer seemed really upset when she was like, "No, Mom, like we can't. You have to still leave and you have to still go to
Yeah.
Harrisburg." But wouldn't it be amazing if, like, at the end of all this and when PLL is done, like Spencer and Mrs. Hastings like go together and like
Yeah.
kind of become
And leave
that'd be-
Daddy?
Daddy, honestly, as much as I love Daddy,
Daddy's been a bad boy.
has been a very
Oh
bad
my
boy.
God, I can't.
Like in Riverdale when she's like, Daddy,
Daddy.
you did a bad thing.
Stop. What episode is that? I'm not done yet.
Sorry. Anyways,
You heard us swear. No, don't pretend you didn't hear that. Pretend you didn't hear that.
doesn't matter. I didn't.
That is the most nauseating.
You don't know what dad either.
I didn't tell you who said it. All right. Anyways,
But thank Daddy. He's
Oh
been
okay,
my
bad.
so
God.
with the
Next topic.
with the Spencer Mary Drake stuff, right? So Arya is kind of the whole reason why
Right.
that all comes to
Right.
fruition with
Yeah.
Mr. Hastings. And now if we want to think about Arya, so not only was Spencer suspicious of Arya last week, Spencer is extra suspicious of Arya now. And so is Mona.
That conversation with that phone call, I was just like, Spencer, you're
Spencer's so
genius.
good. She's
Like,
so good.
Genius.
She's such a
Spencer
badass.
totally knew, like, that Arya did that whole thing, and she was totally putting up this act, like, I'm gonna tell my mom everything, Arya, like the game and everything, just to see Arya sweat. And like Spencer knows.
She should be a poker
Spencer
player.
knows. She should be.
Yeah.
She should be. Yeah.
I just feel like it's like when is Spencer going? I mean, I know
going
next
to
week,
like just.
yeah, and
Yeah.
like next week they kind of give it away that when Spencer's like,
Oh,
that's
flip
it,
on
I'm
Arya.
out in the promo.
Right.
Don't
when
give
they-
away spoilers.
Spoiler alert, watch the trailer, but spoiler alert, close your ears if you don't want to hear it, but in the trailer for next week,
Can't close your ears. That's really not possible.
you can,
muffle them.
And I'm just gonna sit here and close my ears right now.
Yeah, put your hands over your ears.
Then that's putting your hands.
Okay, cover
just
your
saying.
ears. I'm sorry, when did you
I'm
become a
sorry.
grammatical expert over here? Abu
It's just a
Dubai?
pet peeve and people really
Calm
don't
down.
say that.
Hey, you guys, we had also getting sentimental. We had so many good inside jokes.
Declan.
Declan, Abu
jokes.
Dubai. Wait, guys, remember Bethany Frankel?
Yes.
Okay.
You were saying? No, I'm just kidding. But
Anyway, you cover your ears. Is how that
you
works.
cover your ears. But in the
Anyway.
promo for next week, cover your ears. But in the promo for next week, Hanna and Spencer do confront Arya, and they do find out, or so it looks like that
Well, we
she
see
is
her
behind it.
basically in a.
It's not time, dude. This girl's a
Hoodie.
mess. Like, she's the worst A I've ever seen in my life.
I know,
worst
but that almost
You know,
makes
A
me
helper.
feel like worse for her because she's trying so hard to like get it together.
Yeah, she's not even good at being
Is she
A.
injured?
not.
Speaking of her not being good at being A.
I think that
Like-
she might be injured, and I don't think Ezra's actually suspicious of anything because I don't know. He seems pretty genuine with her. But when they were dancing, he said to her like, "Oh, why do your feet hurt? Or why do you seem
Right,
you know,
right,
like you're hurt or something?"
So
And
we're
she was
meant
like,
to
"Oh."
believe that it was that? That just seemed, I don't know.
I think that's just from her doing all that A stuff. Like,
Okay.
you know,
Right.
she was doing that kind of
Right,
in a rush,
Right,
so.
and they're also just trying to really show us that like Arya is going through
turmoil.
the
Inner
the
turmoil.
turmoil, like emotionally,
Yeah.
physically,
Yeah.
everything.
But at least it's like. It's not over because obviously we have next week, but at least she finished what she had to do because she has the file.
Does she?
She
What
has
was
the
that piece
file.
of paper?
It's the file.
It is
But it
the
was
file.
paper. It wasn't a file.
She never
It never was
submitted the file.
Right, it was never
went
filed.
to the police. She just, I think she
She was
wrote it, but it was never
Are-
filed.
That's
Are
what
you
she
saying-
said. She was like that.
Right.
That report was never filed. That was
Right.
like a couple
Okay.
episodes.
So
ago.
that
was
was
still-
So the piece of
handwritten
paper that
copy-
we saw, I
AD
think
had
was
it.
from inside of that file that you saw.
Okay,
Yeah.
that was her
Yeah.
saying he's bad.
Because AD was like,
I
I'm
think
going to
so.
take this
Yeah.
to the police
I'm with
and
you.
And
like
I also
open
thought
up
that
a can
So
of
that
worms.
was
The
go ahead.
first time A actually kind of following through on their promises.
I know.
I don't
Right.
think we've ever seen that
I
before.
thought that too,
Yeah.
Mova. I was
thought
like,
that was super weird.
Yeah.
That's
For
why
the
I've
first
always
time,
There's been a
A is
couple-
actually following through.
Well, yeah, this A at least, because there were
Right.
a couple times before where A had done like random weird good things. Remember when A left all the money for Mrs. Marin that
True,
one time, like
true, true,
way
true.
back
Oh,
in
I
the
forgot
day?
about that.
It's like in the kitchen, remember?
Yes, and the pasta.
So yes,
Yes.
yes, in the
Yeah.
pasta. So I do think it's kind of interesting that A was
Yeah.
helping them out. But speaking of Mona, right? So Mona definitely knows that Arya's up to something.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she's got her freaking configuration on
Right.
the wall.
So
Jeez
Mona
Louise
is
about that.
I really do believe that Mona is helping the girls. Like she is collecting all the evidence and she's basically doing her own investigation. But I feel like because she had the shovels, that was her way of protecting the girls because that would clearly put them behind bars immediately.
Okay, I totally think it's the opposite of that.
You think she's behind it?
Yeah, because you know how, well, there's no really reason I think this. I just think that it would be a really good twist because we were all so fooled by her being good and like wanting to be friends with the girls. And like we really thought it was just her genuine passion for friendship that was like
Right.
guiding her through all this. But I feel like it's just like, the biggest slap in the face in a good way to be like, actually, she's still bad. Psych, you're all dumb. And what she's really doing
Yeah.
is like she's been the mastermind behind like all the evidence because she's framing them and gathering everything.
That make- I
like,
mean-
and then you know what we saw with
does
all
make
the
sense.
with all the lines and stuff.
Right.
I think that is something she's been working on long before the girls asked her to jump in.
Yeah, no
So if she was
one
really
seems
helping them,
intrigued.
then she wouldn't have been already like
Well,
gathering
I bet.
the evidence.
Okay, so I totally could see that. And besides, I love Mona's character
Yeah.
as being the crazy,
Bad, me
badass
too.
bitch that we love. Because when she is like literally evil, she is amazing.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
is always so like twisted and manipulative, and
Right.
it works. And before you accuse me of being like rude towards people with mental illness, I'm not saying that.
So
I'm just,
rude.
It's her character.
I'm
you
just
guys.
saying
It's
her
she's not
character-
a real person.
Right, her character
Even
is
as a character.
Yeah, well, her character, stop. Her character is freaking bomb at being kind of like this evil bitch,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
love it. So I
Yeah,
would like
yeah.
it, but I really don't think that's the case. I think that maybe
It is.
she.
I have a reason why, but keep
Hold on,
going.
I was gonna say, I think that she has known that the girls were behind Roland's death from the beginning.
Right.
So
Yeah.
either she saw it or she found out immediately after, and I feel like she would have been like super inclined to get on it to protect them right away. So I feel
Didn't
like
she
we're
say
gonna
something
find
when she
that
got the
out.
glass replaced and that she was cleaning it up with a toothbrush or something? She said that
Oh, I
she replaced
forget.
the glass on the car.
Yes.
Oh,
forget
right,
that.
right. Yeah.
Okay, but wait, I have another.
Why would she do that?
Another argument. Why then would she be all sketchy with Emily and being like, "Oh my God, is she gone?" Looking through the people.
Because she doesn't want her to see all the evidence.
I know,
Because she
but-
realized she's like, oh my God, my lair. Like,
Right, but what I'm
Emily's
saying
gonna
is,
see it.
if she's
My
gathering the
research.
evidence to protect the girls and help the girls, then why wouldn't she be like, "Don't worry, guys, I have all the evidence right here."
Maybe because she wants to do it on her own.
Yeah,
I think
without
that
them
she
getting
works
involved.
better as like a solo kind
Okay.
of person. But I will say that she has. Yeah, girl.
Sorry.
Go on.
Or the reason why Mona might not be telling them and getting them involved is because she's suspicious
Of Arya.
or of Spencer. Because I'm totally, guys,
Is
wait,
Spencer
what?
your girl?
I think Spencer is guilty of something, but yes, or Arya, or she thinks that one of the girls is involved.
But then why would
Man.
Spencer put her up to like, let's say what Arya did tonight? Why would Spencer want her to do that?
Maybe
Like the
Spencer.
speakers in the house and stuff?
I don't know, but like, there has to be more to Spencer's story.
Unless she's like a schizo.
Or
I
she
mean
has
to
a
say
twin.
that,
I would
love
schizophrenic,
that.
you know?
Or
Yes.
she has a split personality.
Or she's the
named
one with
Arya
the
and
twin.
Dominica.
Well, because they talked about it being genetic. I mean, Mary literally said
Yeah.
tonight the mental illness runs in their family, and so I truly do believe that Spencer got something.
Yeah, why would they have had that whole
Maybe-
conversation about the hereditary mental
Right,
illness
yeah. Right,
unless
right,
something's
right.
mentally
Yeah.
up with Spencer right, now?
Or
Right,
Melissa.
yeah.
But it is interesting though
Or Jason.
that right, Jason or Allie.
Well, I guess Jason isn't. Whose kid is Jason? Jessica.
Jason wouldn't be crazy.
Yeah, he would.
No, he could. 'cause
He
Oh
could
yeah,
be
Jessica
Jessica's
and
kid.
Mr. Hastings.
Yeah, yeah.
It's very
Okay,
confusing.
yeah. Oh,
family,
my gosh.
family
But
tree.
yeah, you're right. Like, why would they put emphasis on that conversation?
Right,
Also,
right.
maybe twins run in the family too.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
But I really don't think she has a twin.
But she did say Spencer was the best thing that ever happened to me. But it's weird that she doesn't talk about Cece.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
She
you're right.
said that tonight.
Super
She was like,
weird.
Spencer's, why take away the best thing that ever happened to me? And then she like she disregards Cece. So I don't even know if Mary
Rude.
ever had Cece.
Rude.
Seriously.
That's so rude.
Does that age timing work out, by the way? Like, pop one out, pop one out. Pop, pop.
I don't think it matters. Like, I think at this point,
We're
we're
just
not
gonna let
supposed
everything
to,
slide?
we're not
Okay.
supposed to like look into
Alright,
it.
got it.
Because there are
We're
plenty
getting
of
way
things.
too good at being detectives.
Yeah, there are plenty of things that
And we still
don't
don't know
match up.
Cece's dad, so she's like,
Yeah, and there's
What?
still the whole Cece and Jason thing that I will never get over for as long as I live.
oh no, but they didn't kiss.
Yeah.
They didn't.
I will wake up like in the middle of the night sometimes, like Cece and Jason dated, they were related, and it was a lie. No. All right, and so so speaking of Mona, right?
Yes.
Emily and Mona. So
Weird.
Allie's like out of town, and
Right.
Emily, Allie's out of town. Why do they keep taking her out of episodes?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like every few episodes, she's absent, but she's out of town, so that gives Emily the perfect opportunity to find the sperm donor with Mona.
Right.
And then we find out that the doctor was paid off. So like there's way too much missing from this for us to get too deep into it. But
Do we know who paid him off?
no, he
has
says
the
that
IP.
he has the IP, remember?
So I wonder if that's what
That's all
Mona
he
was
had.
so into when they got back home, because she
Yes.
went right to the
Oh,
computer.
I'm
Well,
sure.
that's what
I'm
she
sure
was the
that's
one
what
who
it was.
said when he said so he says that he got paid off, and they're like, okay, well by who? And he's like, I don't know, it was all done electronically. And he's like, all I have is the IP, and she's like, well take it. So I
Yeah.
feel like she is looking into that, and she's
Yeah.
tracking that IP.
Yeah.
Right.
And maybe that's
But then
the
why
missing
wouldn't you
link.
want Emily to be in on that?
Like
Emily
I
was right
said,
outside her
maybe
door.
like Megan said, maybe she is suspicious of one of the girls.
Yeah.
Maybe she thinks one of the girls is behind it
And
all.
she just needed Emily
right.
to get that info.
Right,
you
to
know.
be a lesbian
But I
couple
do,
together.
Yeah.
I do honestly think that Mona might be the one that solves all of this at the end of it, and she finally
Yeah.
gets her redemption. Like I said last week, like she's finally gonna get what she has wanted this entire time, which for people to recognize her as being an
You guys, this
asset.
is so sad, but could you imagine if the very last line of PLL was Mona just being like, can I sit with you guys now?
Yeah, poor girl.
Right? Like, that's
So mean to her.
sad. Like, she's like, I did all of this for you. I cracked the code. I figured out who AD
No,
is.
but there
Can I
has to
please
be some
accepted into the
significance
group?
with Mona now, because she has been in so many of the
Yes,
past episodes.
totally.
Yeah.
So there's got to be something big.
I
And
just-
she
I
has
want
her
her-
own like singing montage, you guys.
Yeah,
So.
well,
Yeah.
I want her to get her
weird.
redemption. I feel like she deserves
She
it.
does, she does.
Before we get into the musical number,
Awful, yeah.
let's talk about Haleb, right?
Oh my
Yeah.
God, you
Oh my
guys.
gosh.
Caleb, that scene, literally my favorite scene of the night. They both had tears in their eyes. And I was like, this is happening, this is happening. And then also, can we just remember that they first lost their...
Consumed.
I don't know if
their
they both lost their
relationship?
virginities, but Hannah lost her virginity to Caleb
Caleb.
in a tent, at Camp Mona. You guys remember that?
Okay, but at least
Camp
like
Mona?
I think it was Camp Mona. Remember she gave me a birthday?
I thought it was super.
Or maybe, yeah.
I thought it was super adorable.
So cute.
But like with Emerson's engagement, I felt like that was more legit. I know this makes me sound so
No,
shallow.
I was about to say something so similar.
This makes me sound so shallow, but like I just really wanted him to say like, "Will you marry me?"
no, he needs to
like,
say
it was killing me that it wasn't
Side
like
note,
an actual.
Did you guys see that video? It was sent to us. The girl that watched Emerson last
Oh
week.
my God,
Yes.
loved it.
She was sitting
On
on
the
the yoke,
bouncy
on the
ball.
bouncy ball.
Oh my
She's like,
gosh.
bitch, you better, bitch, you better. It was so good.
Dude,
It was
that
so
girl
good.
is my freaking hero.
Can we have her on the
amazing.
show?
Yeah, I
Like,
love her.
Girl, if you're watching, like, reach out to us. Tell us where you live.
I
Like, come on the
love
show.
her
You were
so
hysterical. That was
much.
the best. That was
Yeah.
the best thing. Oh my
Okay,
God.
I kind of agree with what you're saying.
I know, and like
Just because it was a long time coming. They
Yes.
both literally
Yeah.
were dating other people. And like, you know, the Ezria proposal was like a huge, they were canned. It was like
know.
a thing. And this was kind of like, while he was talking to Ashley Marin, he just was like,
I'm still a
I
little
think I want to
confused.
spend the rest of my life
It was
with
so
you.
believable, you guys. It was,
It was
so
very
cute.
realistic.
No, I
Too
do. I
realistic.
agree.
It was the
Realistic.
cutest
It was
thing I've ever
super
seen in my
cute.
life.
It was super cute. I thought it was really sweet, and also like it matches their type of personalities. That was like in the tent and super low key, and it's like the tent has its significance, and like she brought the cigars like just to think because like that's all that they have.
But I felt their actual real life friendship in that
Yeah,
scene.
you
Like
feel
I
it that
felt
too.
the emotions in that scene, like
Yeah.
IRL. You know.
But I just feel like they gave Ezria this grand proposal. They gave Emerson this grand proposal.
And it was not grand.
And I just
No, it
Yeah.
was exactly how it should
I
have
know,
been.
you're right, you're
Haleb
right.
shippers, where you at? Like,
I
it
know,
was
I'm
know, you're
literally
right.
torn.
So
I'm torn.
Haleb, I'm totally fine with how it went down.
Yeah.
I loved every minute
Okay,
of it.
fine,
It was
you're
torn
great.
too.
It was great.
Actually, because I
I'm
didn't hate
torn.
it. It's
It's
I
so
didn't
cute.
hate
was
it at all.
realistic, and
it was
I
adorbs.
liked the realisticness.
I
Because
just
cry.
I wanted him
cry.
to say like I love hearing the words "Will you marry me?"
Yeah.
There's something so special
I
about
think he
that.
will, but like it was just very the
No, but
tent
then
was
the
everything. It came
ring.
full circle.
The
You're
ring
right,
thing
you're right.
confused me
And it
because
wasn't
I
an
thought that he was just
engagement.
asking for her hand in marriage, talking to Ashley, and then I thought that he was gonna be like, okay, then, well, will you marry me? Like I thought that was.
They
gonna
will be the
happen.
wedding because now we know Ezra is not the wedding.
We
because
don't know that for sure.
We saw her in a veil tonight, you guys.
And what if Emerson gets married?
Oh, Emerson.
Because
I
she's-
think there's two weddings. So Emerson and Haleb.
Yeah, because she's about to have a baby, so maybe they want to get married before the baby's born.
That's fine. I'm totally down with that. But Ezra is not happening. I'm sorry, you guys. It's just not.
Also,
No,
side note,
it has to happen.
It's not
It has to
happening.
happen. It
I'm
has to
not
happen.
feeling
so
their love.
rude.
yeah.
No,
I'm not
it's
either.
not that
It's
I'm-
so rude.
You guys, it's not that I'm not for Ezra. I totally am, but
Liar.
I'm not feeling the love between them.
I'm
What are you
not.
talking
I'm not
about?
either, but-
There's no love.
Okay.
They're watching movies, falling
Arya-
asleep on the couch.
Arya-
She's too busy being A.
No, Arya has to get through all of this like crazy
In 3
guilt.
episodes.
Yes, and she will. We know that next week she gets found out. They're all gonna end up together, and Toby was in the promo too. I'm sorry for giving that away, but it's true. He was in the promo. Okay, well, speaking of,
Wait, really fast.
What?
They could still have a proposal, a grand one, because technically there was no proposal tonight, so maybe he's
They
going to
could
actually
still
do
have
it.
a
Fingers.
proposal.
There are
Exactly.
rings on
Right.
fingers,
So there's
but
still-
we'll see what
that's what I'm
There's still
saying.
hope.
That's
There
what
is
I'm
still hope.
hoping. I will hear the words, "Will you marry me?" But you're
Yes.
right. Should stop being shallow. It's not all about the diamond.
Yes,
it
it
was
is.
perfect.
No.
All right. So the jailhouse rock scene, right? So
It was so awful.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It reminded me of, you guys remember a few seasons back, maybe it was a couple seasons back, where they had this one episode that was entirely black and white, and I was just like,
Yes.
will this episode end? And the whole thing was like metaphors and similes, and I was just like, what does this mean? And then it ends, the whole musical number ends, and then they go back to real life, and
It
they're
was
watching this
like-
movie. What is the significance of that movie?
I
have
mean,
no idea.
okay, the Fosters did a musical, and I loved that. But for PLL, I didn't really love it. I'm glad it was quick. I didn't like how Mona was singing. Like, I love Lucy Hale, and I kind of wish she was given the musical number. I kind of wish we could see more of her personality come out during that little dream sequence. But honestly, it was kind of weird. It was kind of a little twist, but.
Yeah. I also didn't understand the significance between Mrs. Hastings and
Oh,
Arya.
at the end, yeah,
Yeah,
that
that's
was
weird.
weird.
Like the
That is
whole
kinda
thing
weird.
ended
That is
and
weird.
culminated in like this Mrs. Hastings line
Yeah.
to Arya, and I'm like, where's their history that matters?
I got it.
Go
I got
on.
it. I think, oh my God, could you guys imagine? Okay, you know how we're trying to figure out who the FaceTime face is?
Yeah.
And my mom
Yeah.
has called it from day one. My mom thinks that Mrs. Hastings is so guilty. But do you think that maybe she saw Mrs. Hastings' face because when she watches that FaceTime,
Oh, she's
it could be Mrs.
subconsciously
Hastings.
seeing Mrs. Hastings.
Do you
Maybe.
think so?
That makes sense. I feel like we can
think
see
that
A's
could be it.
hairline,
I
and
don't
it looks like
know.
dark hair.
I
could be
can't
age
imagine
or-
Mrs. Hastings being behind all of this.
I think it's Paige or
I know.
Allie. I still think it's
I
Paige or
know.
Allie in that phone.
Because I really felt for Mrs. Hastings tonight in this episode. I did.
Yeah, I really
She's
did
supposed
too.
to be good. She's such a good, like her character.
Yeah.
Like she's
And
good
she's
at acting
like,
good.
Yeah, I feel
right,
bad
and
for
she's
her.
like, we've always been led to believe that she was like this hard ass, like, you know, like on top.
Do the right thing.
Yeah, do the right thing and everything
Yeah.
like that. But she has like such a loyal side to her, is because the fact that she stays with her husband and like always tries to see the good in their family and like bring them together. As crazy and twisted as the Hastings family is, it's
Yeah.
actually really sad. But she really is like the one that keeps them all together.
Right,
Even though she's the one that's been through the most.
Yeah.
she needs to leave
Was
him.
that
I'm
deep or
sorry.
what?
No, it was great because you were like saying this deep thing, and then Steph was like, "That's stupid."
Leave a guy who's cheated on her multiple
No,
times
it's
and now
sad,
effing up
but
her whole
it's hard.
career.
But I think, like she'll figure it out.
Boy, bye.
Well, bye.
Really quick, so we have to wrap up really soon because we are running out of time. So we're just gonna do a couple questions, but really quick, at bdawn117, Becca Dawn says, Mega_boss. I do agree with you that it won't be Ezria, but the veil we saw tonight was paper.
Yeah,
and the
'cause she said
veil in the
toilet paper.
pic was a word I can't pronounce. Is it Tule?
Tool.
Tule?
Tool.
Okay, I just always call it veil.
You guys,
I'm like, it's
know, you
veil
guys.
material.
Wait, are we
I'm always
doing,
like, it's
I
veil
don't know.
material.
are we doing any shout outs or should I wait for that?
No, we'll do a bunch of shout outs next week. We'll take a bunch
Wait,
of
let me
questions.
just do a few. Just a
do
few.
one. Just
Oh,
do
yeah,
if you
just
need
do a
to.
couple.
Ruth, Ash, RJ, Scotty Styles, Diamond, and Dominic Jackson and Casey.
Yay! We'll do more next week.
We'll do so much more, you guys.
Yeah.
But
Love you guys.
yeah, so I feel like now we really need to know from you guys what you think Mona's role in all of this
Yeah.
is.
Love it. Yeah.
So I want to know what you guys think Mona's role in all of this is, since we're divided. And then I also want to talk about. I
also want to think.
just want to think about
Thank the
what the
Academy.
hell is going on. No, I also want to talk about if you guys think that Mary Drake is gone forever.
No, that was so
No,
anticlimactic.
I
If
know.
It was her, like, she's
Yeah.
gone to a car and left.
Yep,
No.
yep. If you think that Mary Drake and what her significance is, and then also who you think for sure will get married, since. But we have 3 episodes left.
All of them.
Yeah.
Crazy, dude.
I definitely think Emerson will get married.
No, I actually saw an interview with Shay Mitchell, and she said that
So all of them don't get married?
No, she literally said that Emerson like might not happen. I want Emerson to happen. She was just teasing it.
She's just saying that.
Throw us off no
Don't
matter
hate.
what.
I forget. I think it was with E or something. I can't remember what interview I was watching, but she made it seem like they might not have a happily ever after, which is awful.
But maybe this was before, like, leading up to the episode
Maybe.
last week, you know?
Because I highly doubt Marlene wouldn't give us Emerson. I really just don't. With a baby on the way, I don't.
With a baby on the way.
Yeah, no,
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, they are having a baby, so that maybe that's their happily ever after. Like, just because you have a baby doesn't necessarily mean you have to get married, and maybe
true.
that's exciting for them, and they don't have to get married.
Oh my God, that was so
And they're-
deep.
yeah.
I know.
I really appreciate that.
All right.
I'd like to thank the
It made me
Academy.
feel like better about myself as a
Yeah,
human being.
I mean, we're a modern day society. You
It's
know?
true. You can totally have babies and not get married, guys.
Yeah, you can.
Nobody's judging you, okay?
No, what-
I'm not
I'm
speaking from
not.
personal experience or anything, but just like hypothetically. No, but seriously, you guys, it's true. But seriously, you guys let us know who you think is going to get married, what you think Mona's role is in all of this, and if Mary Drake is going to come back. And also, really quick, Ashley Marin, right? I know we talked a little bit about her.
Her arms are
So
amazing.
hot.
They're
She's
amazing.
She's so hot.
She's
She's
so
so
skinny, and
hot.
she's like,
She's so freaking hot. But really quick, I also do
Anyways.
find it super interesting that Ashley Marin somehow is like always the parent that's never like addressed too much, but we've had some really crazy weird moments with her in the past, and I feel like there has to be more to her story too.
Yeah, there could be.
I feel like there has to be more to her story. I feel like there has to be more to Spencer's story. There's definitely more to Mona's story.
Yeah.
And I feel like those 3 are the 3 question marks right now.
Yeah?
Mona, Spencer, and Mrs. Marin.
Yeah.
You guys seem to think Mrs. Hastings. I don't know. She just seems like she's just
Good
cruising.
to the core.
You know?
We'll
All right,
see.
but let us know, you guys. Sorry we didn't take too many questions and shout outs tonight, but we will make sure that next week we'll take a bunch of questions and we'll leave some extra time for that at the end, okay?
Okay, cool.
Anything else? Love you guys. Take your
that's it.
vitamins, okay? Because there's something nasty going around. Mova, wash your hands.
I will.
All right.
All right, love you guys. 3, 2, 1.